Thank you very much. It's quite challenging now after those exceptional and honorable speeches to go down to earth, to the organization itself and what we are planning for the next half year. We'll do it, and you just follow me and I present you what we are doing. So here you see the organization. I don't go on the upper part, that's the pure kind of things, how we are organized. In the top row you see the steering, below there's the management team that really executes. I would like to emphasize on the lower part, and that is really the heart of the association. Where is the delivery going on? And that is in the committees and the working groups. So we have 3 committees, and I would like to really speak them out, and that is the Policy Rules Committee, working for more than 1 year to really define all the framework for the rulings. That is the Technical Committee and my colleague Pierre that presented to you yesterday all the achievements that I will also highlight later on again. And that is, and that comes from the bottom of my heart, and everyone who knows me knows that that's really the Data Space Business Committee, the business creation, using and fostering Gaia-X to become real and create value out of data. This is what it is about. It's about data and value creation. That's why we are on this endeavor in this huge project. We have something that also our CEO Francesco just mentioned before in the opening session this morning, which is so important for us. That's the label. So that is certainly a cross-function. So it's across all committees. Everyone, every member is committing to this. It is so relevant to have these 3 levels. I will not go into the details. We just heard that this morning. But this is exactly where you can really plug in, you as the provider, as the user, as an installation agency and whatever, as consultancy services. Committees itself need support. Bottom up, there are sub-working groups and working groups. They are in the details. All of those have a mission document which is funneled and harmonized in the committees, steered by the committees. And I would like with this slide to really reach out to you by saying, activate yourself, put the resources in those working groups. It pays off. Become member. You can influence our specification documents and all the things that you learned in the past 2 days. The hubs are the think tank of the association. How can an association itself say it knows the solution for the world? Impossible. The hubs are the region. They are the countries. Those are the ones that develop and bring up the business. They know what SMEs need. They exactly know how to plug together the different businesses to create data spaces, and by that leverage Gaia-X and leverage platform economy. That's what it is all about. How do we do that? So there's this association on the top of the slide, as you can see, and within this Data Space Business Committee, we have so-called vertical ecosystems. And there might be that here or there's a non-member of the association there. And again, I would like to motivate those non-members, become members of the association. And thanks a lot for your engagement in this work. And those are organized in these verticals, just exemplary: industry, energy, healthcare, agro. I'm sorry that I didn't list them all here, but you know what I mean and I say. And they are directly connected and linked and have an exchange to the hubs. And that's why the role of the coordinators of the hubs that you just heard about an hour ago is so important. They are really gluing that together. And by this exchange, we have a feedback channel. It's a huge closed loop that we can control and where we really learn and can improve. Hubs, 14 hubs, 1 global hub. The dark blue ones are already well established, they are inaugurated. The others are coming in the future. And we are really proud that it is a pan-European, all-European initiative. As mentioned before several times, and as you heard already in the speeches before, there are very few national use cases. Most of them are pan-European. Across the border, it's about data economy. There is a border, or a geographical border is not harming us there, or is not of relevance when it comes to creating platform economy-based businesses. And the problems are the same across Europe. Look at Agro, where Jelle was just on the stage before in the hub round table. The topics the Netherlands are facing, France, Spain, Italy, Germany, Poland are facing are quite comparable. So why not federating these kind of saying problems to get a federated solution and this federated data economy building up there? So now let's really spend the last couple of minutes on what we achieved, very few, and in particular our outlook. First of all, sorry for that kind of colorful box, small text, whatever, but we really had the ambition to only have one slide. And by that, a lot is left out. I agree and admit there's so much more to say, it's just left out, and please accept our apologies for that. Why do we go June to June from 21 to 22? It's a very simple reason. The most important body of the association of Gaia-X is the General Assembly. And that always happens end of May, beginning of June. That's why we really stick to this timeline. It might sound crazy to you, but it's really endorsing and also valuing the need and the importance of our members, that all 318 members meet in the General Assembly. That's the place where they meet. That's why we start always there. And I would like to really go top down and walk you from the left to the right and start really with the technical committee headed by Pierre. We're already in a continuum, the technical architecture documents and the architecture of standard documents, those two key documents are elaborated, and expect in March this year the next release, and then certainly in June. We name them by the year 22 and then .03 and .06. Closely collaborated, and you heard that already with the Federated Services, one of our key external projects, both in France and in Germany. You heard Anne-Sophie and also Andreas just a couple of hours ago, yesterday. They are in close collaboration. That means every week they exchange and align their deliverables, their specifications, their things that are stated in their mission document. That is very well aligned and harmonized with the Policy Rules Committee, where Ulrich Eichhorn and Alban Schmutz are heading them. Thank you so much for your work. Here the rulings are set up, and in the end those tables are set up that they are then driving the technology being developed based on the specifications that the technical committee is developing. That brings me immediately to the labels. Really the core element to make Gaia-X understandable in the market, in products, and where you can really see it then later on. It's not just a sticker on a device or so. We kicked it off in July this year already, and just as announced this morning by our CEO and the chairman of the board, the press conference and the press release is coming up. So the first document is done, but it's just a continuum as everything in Gaia-X. Now the criteria to be selected, just to let you know a detail out of the association. Next week we'll have a huge workshop where we really go through all the details of the label criteria. The entire framework, the synchronization with the external projects, the testing in the external projects, and you heard of all them, AgData Hub, EuProGigant, Catena-X, SNCF from the Netherlands yesterday, many more, Iona-X in France, the health activities. The list is unlimited of our so-called lighthouse projects. That's where the validation of these documents, of the labeling scheme takes place. And for that, it is really important for us that we play with that. So the hackathons headed by our CTO, by Pierre, are important because that's where we can test it. You learned already yesterday that Pierre and the CTO office test them really first with our member data and everything, but now the hackathon opens it to the community. And let me invite you to participate in 2 weeks in the next hackathon, and then there's one more to come in Q2 next year. The DSBA is so important for the leveraging of Gaia-X. You heard it this morning, 100 hubs in total. And even if their intention here or there might be different, it is so relevant that we collaborate. Only the federation is the ambition and the start for the scaling. So this DSBA, which you see here in this light violet color, is really about the synchronization and the leveraging of the business. Imagine we have use cases in the DSBA already existing. If we transfer them to Gaia-X, this is where we prove it works. We deliver and the technology works. That's exactly what it is about. Let me close with the Data Space Business Committee and wonderful Jean-François Cassès and Sebastian Schlosser, who are heading that. Quite impressive will be the yearly event that they are planning towards the summer next year. There will be a handbook, but most importantly, these verticals that are presented already before are the ones where the business, the use cases to become business cases is developed. Our institute is proud to hold a seminar on automated compliance. Pierre mentioned already yesterday the importance and how well we do that, and on data economics. There will be a huge press conference in spring next year. And by that, I would like to close. Thank you, all of you. And last sentence again, engage, really put resources in the association, influence the creation of the documents. That is what it's about. Thank you so much.